Okay, let's do a quick review of Standard 3, writing a system of equations from word problems. With every word problem, I want to read one sentence at a time and then figure out if there's important information in that sentence and either highlight it or take a note on it. So, the first sentence here says, Vaca Farm sold beef and pork at the farmer's market. I guess it's important that those are the two products they're selling and nothing else, but in terms of constructing our equations, I don't really need this sentence anymore. Next, it says they charge $12 per pound of beef. I'm going to pause. I haven't even finished this sentence, but that's really important information. So I'm going to highlight it here, and I am going to make a note, $12 per pound of beef. Okay, and then $10 per pound of pork. Okay, same deal. Highlight it in here and make a note of it over here. At the end of the day, they sold 30 pounds of meat. Okay, pausing again. 30 pounds of meat total. I'm going to make another note of that over here. And collected $204. All right, really important, $204. The question is, how many pounds of beef and pounds of pork did they sell? All right, the question being asked is really key because what it wants to know is how you should define your variables. So the first thing this question is asking about is how many pounds of beef. We don't know how many pounds of beef, so because that's an unknown, we're going to say let B equal the number of pounds of beef. And now we have pounds of pork. That's another thing that we don't know. So we're going to say let P equal the number of pounds of pork. All right, awesome. So we have now defined our variables. We can use these variables now to write our equations. Notice, these are going to be the only two variables in our equations. We shouldn't have others. So, first this says $12 per pound of beef and $10 per pound of pork and $204 total. So that's all information about money. Those are all going to be in the same equation. Now, since $12 goes with pounds of beef, I'm going to write 12, that's the price per pound of beef, and that is the coefficient on B, the number of pounds of beef, right? So we've got the price per pound of beef times the number of pounds of beef, and that will give us the total money earned from selling beef. Next, I'll do the same thing with the pork. I know that it's $10 per pound of pork, and I have P pounds of pork. I'm adding those things together because I'm selling the beef and the pork, and together I made $204. So I set this sum equal to 204. Great, one equation down, one more to go. I've already used all of this information, so now I'm going to focus on this piece of information that I have not yet used, 30 pounds total. I know that the number of pounds of beef is B, and the number of pounds of pork is P. That's how we defined our variables. And together, those add to 30 pounds. So this equation will just be B plus P equals 30. The number of pounds of beef plus the number of pounds of pork is 30. That's it. That's our system of equations. We defined our variables and used them to write two equations. Let's look at this other type of system. So first we'll read it. Alondra has an account with $275 and spends $35 per month. Okay, this first sentence, chock full of information. I'm going to take some notes. So she has $275 and is spending $35 per month. Spending means she is decreasing the money in her account by $35 per month. So I'm going to write that as minus $35 per month. The next sentence is, Chris has an account with $150 and earns $65 per month. Again, lots of information, same deal. He has $150 and earns $65 per month. Because he's earning $65 per month, I'm going to write this as a positive $65 per month. So now the question, when do they have the same amount of money in their account? So this is a little bit different, but it still tells us how to define our variables. We have two unknowns. The first one is when. We don't know at what time they'll have the same amount. And to help connect this to our slope-intercept equations, I'm going to say let x equal the number of months. So notice x is the time, and because in this problem our rates are per month, I'm going to say that this is the number of months. Next, our other unknown is the same amount. We don't know what that amount will be. So I'll say let y equal the total money in the account. Notice, these two variables, x and y, are not related to Alondra or Chris specifically in this situation. They are all about the time that has passed, which is universal, and the money in the account, which could refer to either account. Okay, now the equations. Since I was given a starting amount and a rate for two different people, I am going to make a note that these will be in the form y equals mx plus b. So for our first person, Alondra, she is losing $35 per month. So this rate becomes our m, becomes our slope. And the amount she started with, $275, becomes our B, our initial amount. We can apply these same ideas to Chris's situation. He has a growth of $65 per month, so the M, the slope, becomes 65. And he started with $150, so that is our initial amount. And here we are, a system of equations for this situation. One last note to double check that you're done. You should have two variables defined, and you should have two equations. Remember, an equation must have an equal sign, so use that to double check before you turn in your assessment. Have fun and good luck.